Okay, so we're going to start at 2 times 4 over here. So we all should know that 2 lots of 4 is 8. Okay, now we're going to change it now, so it's negative 2 times 4. And what I said in my multiplying negatives video was that if one of them was a negative, or if there was a negative, then you would do the opposite to what it says. So we would do the inverse. So if you had 2, so if it looked like this, I'll actually draw it out for you. So if we had 2 lots of 4, okay, so it looked like this. If I wanted to do negative 2 lots of 4, this would become the opposite, okay? We would do the inverse. So it would actually become negative 8. Okay, so we're going to start back at this one again, but this time we want to do 2 lots of negative 4. So again, we've got this negative that turns these to the opposite, and we've got negative 8. Okay, right, we'll start back here again. So you always start with the 2 positives multiplied together because that's the easiest place to start. Okay, so the first one is a negative, so it turns it over, so they'd all be red. And then this next one is a negative again, so it would turn them back over, so they would become positive again. So this one is just 8. Okay, if you're not sure, go and have a look at my other video. Okay. All right, another thing, like I just said, is that I like derived facts. So if you know a multiplication, then you know other things as well, okay? So the inverse, the opposite of multiplying, is dividing. So I will know another multiplication, but I will also know 2 division facts, just from knowing that 6 times 3 is 18. So my other multiplication that I would know is that 3 lots of 6 is 18, okay? And now I know those 2, so I'm now going to know some divisions. So I would know that 18 divided by 3 is 6, because these 3 numbers are linked, okay? And my last one I would know is 18 divided by 6 is 3. Okay, so I like knowing facts like that, and I like you to know facts like that because it helps you with division. I think that if you know the multiplication, then it's easier to see the division. Okay, so what I've done is I've told you a fact here, that 4 times 10 is 40. Okay, so we're going to use that fact to help us with these answers. Okay, so we're going to do the first one. I'm going to do 40 divided by 10. Well, I know because I've used 40 and 10 that my answer is going to be 4. Okay, so I know that 40 shared into 10 is 4. Okay, and it's positive 4. Okay, so if I draw that answer out, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now this time it's 4 divided by negative 10. So this is the same idea as the multiplying by a negative. So because it's a negative here, it's going to affect my answer and it's going to flip them all over. Okay, so it's going to make it negative 4. Okay, because it's turning it into the opposite. Okay, again on this one, I've got negative 40 shared by 10, okay, and I've got 4 as my answer here, positive 4, and because one of them is a negative, it turns it over, okay, so it becomes negative 4, okay, and the last part is negative 40 divided by negative 10, so we've got our answer of 4, okay, for doing 40 divided by 10, okay, and then I've got a negative, so it turns it over. And then I've got another negative, so it turns it back over. So my answer would be positive 4. Okay, I'm going to show you, like I did on the last video, how that works. Okay, going on MathSpot, and I'm going to do some flipping and I'll talk over it again, just so that you know and you understand how that works. Okay, so watch the rest of the video.
So as I said, I'm going to do the same as what we've done with multiplying negatives, but doing it through division. So I've got 10 and I'm going to divide them into 2. So I've got 10 positives divided by positive 2. So we're going to split them into 2 groups. So we get the answer positive 5. Okay, so what would it be if we did 10 divided by negative 2? Well, we would flip them round and we would get the opposite. So we would get negative 5. Okay, Right, so now if we were looking at doing negative 10 divided by 2, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix these all back up and I'm actually going to turn them all negative, okay? So negative 10 divided by 2, okay, so I've got negative 10, I'm going to split them into two groups, and as you can see, it's going to make our negative 5. So that's another way of doing that one if it starts with a negative, okay? For the last one, I'm doing negative 10 divided by negative 2. So they're all positive first of all, split it into 2. Then they're going to flip once for the negative 10. Then they're going to flip again for the negative 2. So our answer is positive 5. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now I want you to have a go at some questions of your own.